Today, the District of New Jersey is one of the most popular venues for patent litigation. This district has a long tradition of trying important patent cases and protecting worthy innovations. That history goes back to before the Civil War. One notable case of that era was Goodyear v. Day, where this court upheld Charles Goodyear's patent for vulcanizing India rubber. Goodyear hired a legal giant of the 19th century to represent him in court. That man was Daniel Webster. Goodyear v. Day was Webster's last case and his only court appearance in the District of New Jersey.
Charles Goodyear's discovery of vulcanized rubber came in the winter of 1839. It is often referred to as one of history's most celebrated accidents. Before this process was discovered, rubber was useless because it would melt in the summer and freeze in the winter. Vulcanized rubber is waterproof, sturdy, and elastic. After Goodyear secured a patent for his discovery, the fight against infringement began.
At first, Daniel Webster was not responsive to Goodyear's overtures. In 1852, Webster was Secretary of State and was contemplating his third and last run for the presidential nomination. He had established himself as America's preeminent orator, politician, and constitutional lawyer. In the end, Webster took on the case because he needed the money. His lavish spending habits exceeded his government income, and he was heavily in debt. Goodyear offered Webster a fee of $10,000, with $5,000 more if he won.
This fee I must have, for it will pay $15,000 of my debts. 3 or 4 more such windfalls as that will let me die a free man, and that is all I live to do.
The trial took place in Trenton in the spring of 1852. Though Daniel Webster was elderly and not in good health, his argument in court on behalf of Goodyear is still among his finest.
Now is Charles Goodyear the discoverer of this invention of vulcanized rubber. Is he the first man upon whose mind the idea ever flashed, or to whose intelligence the fact ever was disclosed, that by carrying heat to a certain height it would cease to render plastic the India rubber, and begin to harden and metallize it? Is there a man in the world who found out that fact before Charles Goodyear? They attempt to prove that he was not the inventor by little shreds and patches of testimony. Here a little bit of sulfur, and there a little parcel of lead. Here a little degree of heat, and yet they never seem to come to the point. We want to know the name, and the habitation, and the location of the man upon the face of this globe who invented vulcanized rubber, if it be not he who now sits before us.
Daniel Webster closed his argument with a respectful acknowledgment to the District Court of New Jersey.
And as this is the first time that I've presented myself professionally in the state of New Jersey, I'm not willing to leave this performance of my duty and to leave this state without congratulating the citizens of New Jersey and to give them that happiness expressed in the wish of Lord Coke of living always under the protection of the law and in the gladsome light of jurisprudence.
Daniel Webster never entered a courtroom again and died later that same year. But the court ruled in favor of Charles Goodyear, and Daniel Webster had the satisfaction of ending his career as a lawyer with a triumphant win in the District of New Jersey.